all those righteous types going after Trump for not wearing a mask. But he's a role model, they scream. He's killing people. Of course, away from the cameras, they were doing something else. That's the difference between Trump and politicians. With Trump, what you see is what you get. The others, well, they're politicians. Like Nancy, caught at a hair salon Monday, despite laws keeping them closed for the public. This is the same Nancy who said this.
The White House, by bringing all those people there, no mask, no distancing, and the rest. He slapped science right in the face. And what a bad example that was.
What a bad example. She should know. Then there's the Philly mayor caught eating inside a Maryland restaurant while his city bans indoor dining. And our beloved New York leaders spotted outside, fresh after lecturing citizens on the rules that they violate. So what's the lesson here? Why do many people seek political power to begin with? It isn't to increase your quality of life. It's to increase theirs by allowing them immunity from the laws they enforce. Being a politician means having that special pass that gets you in front of every Disney ride. It means the best seat in the house, the ability to bump anyone off a flight, to be able to run red lights to get to that gym across town. Environment be damned. If you talk the talk, there's no need to walk the walk. Ask Joe Biden. Politics gets you perks and fame. Look at the entire Clinton brood who expected and got millions after languishing in taxpayer-funded property. And then there are the Obamas, Netflix-sponsored fat cats. So is Trump in this for the money or the perks? Well, he's got that already. So what's he in it for? Did the media ever ask that? No, they were too busy trying to score free tickets to Hamilton. All right, we just got tape of Nancy Pelosi responding to this, I guess you would call it Hairgate. and she, Hairgate, that sounds like a product we would sell about 2 a.m. Hairgate. Anyway, okay, let's just roll the tape. I'll shut up.
This salon owes me an apology for setting up. It was clearly a setup. I take responsibility for falling for a setup by a neighborhood salon that I've gone to for years.
So, Dana, she's taking responsibility for being screwed over by the salon, which is kind of interesting. I want you to comment on that, but also...
I have to clap for her.
Yeah, it was pretty clever. Is it sexist, Dana? Is it sexist to criticize Nancy over this? Or is it sexist to believe she deserves exemption because of her sex and not criticize it? Very difficult question for you to answer.
I'm just going to criticize it.
Okay.
Whether sexist or not. I have to say, I did not see this one coming.
No.
I did not see this excuse coming. That is absolutely shameless brilliance. Matt Whitlock, if you don't follow him on Twitter, you really got to follow him. He put her press conference just there to the sound of the Veep credits at the end, because it really is something that you might see from them. Unbelievable. I do think it's also interesting, like when the way that she goes on, and it was like right after that she gave that interview saying that if the president isn't wearing a mask, he's going to kill people. And look, I think that it also proves that in a way they're just like us.
Yeah.
They want to be better than us, but they're not. That they still got to get their hair cut and they still got to do all of these things. And I think that a lot of the data that's coming in is saying that the lockdowns were not productive. They did not work. And in the meantime, Nancy Pelosi is overseeing a legislative negotiation in which salons like the one that she went to would not get any money in her version of the bill. But she is forcing them to open just for her. And in addition to that, there's like this ruling class notion. I guess that's what you were talking about, right? Like if you're part of the ruling class, then the rules don't apply to you, which is sort of weird and a little bit of I don't know if that's an oxymoron, but it should be.
It's the point of trying to get into the ruling class, so you don't have to abide by the rules that you enforce on others.
Yeah.
I thought I made that clear, Dana, in the monologue, but I'll try better next time. You know, Emily, I often wonder if beauty parlor hair is overrated. Like, so why do we demand women of a certain age to go to a beauty parlor and they're put under these massive machines? I'll show you some of these pictures because these things are quite frightening and intimidating. I don't know where they come from. Who's that guy who keeps walking behind me? But look at this. I find this quite disturbing. Where do you stand on this incredible scandal that is basically breaking the world wide open right now?
Well, look, I am grateful for each and every one of those machines. I'll tell you right now, Greg. These guys have been surfing the hypocritical wave for decades. No one should be surprised. There have always been two sets of rules, right? For those who make the laws and for those who have to follow them. From Chappaquiddick to Bill Clinton to the Slush Fund, from FOIA to OSHA to the Ethics in Government Act of 1978, those rules don't apply to Congress. Those laws don't apply to Congress. It's the reason why the mayor here of Seattle, Jenny Durkin, gets a 24-hour off-duty police security detail while the residents around Chaz go law enforcement free. And why your Mayor de Blasio there in New York rolls in a caravan of SUVs to the gym every day while the rest of you have to comply with environment ethics. I mean, the entire thing is absolutely transparent, and the worst part is that we expect it. Last month, our approval rate of Congress was 21%, and there's a record low of 17. We talk about privilege in this country and people who have privilege. There is no more privileged group in this country than those entrenched incumbents on the Hill.
Absolutely right. Juan, do you agree with me that Nancy Pelosi should go to jail and serve at least 3 to 5 years for what she's done?
Wow, you know what? You are so kind. I think you're going easy on her, Greg.
Yes.
I mean, to me, I thought, boy, if she walked through that parlor and she was holding a pint of ice cream, that would really, really have set it off. Remember when she had ice cream on James Corden behind her? The president ran an ad about it, right? He said, "Oh, look, Nancy Pelosi and the elites are eating fancy ice cream." So I think, look, she opened herself to this charge of hypocrisy. By the way, Emily, I think the rich are the ones who are privileged in American society by far. They're the ones who get to the front of the line in Disney, I can tell you. But to my mind, she did, you know, I think a service to right-wing memes and right-wing commentators who want to say, hey, Nancy Pelosi, you are a hypocrite. Now, I will say, you know, she didn't put anybody else at risk. I think that's the best argument. I don't like what she said about the salon. If she's going to be a responsible person, take responsibility. But she didn't put anybody else at risk. And I can't say that about the Republican National Convention at the White House. I can't say that about the rally in Tulsa where people got sick and
or
some
the protests,
died. So
the massive protests and the rioting and the looting.
No, because I don't know about
people wearing masks.
In other words, no politician was leading that. But I will say, you know what I want to say? The biggest hypocrisy of the day, I think, goes to Melania Trump, who was found to have been using private email server while at the White House. I think Hillary Clinton's somewhere eating ice cream and laughing.
Yeah, but she didn't acid wash it. I think that's what it was called.
She was the Secretary of State.
Yeah. You know, so Jesse, I realize that you're in a tight spot. On one hand, this is great for Trump and bad for the Democrats. But on the other hand, you're vain, and you understand Nancy.
I do, and I want to talk about that. I want to wade into the whole sexism thing. So if Dana will virtually hold my hand here, I'm about to make some stereotypical announcements. It is true that women are more beautiful than men, and that women, because they're more beautiful, maybe spend more time maintaining their beauty. And that women's hair is longer than men's hair and needs to be maintained more. And as you mature, perhaps you may need to color said hair more often. Now, am I doing okay so far?
No.
Okay. Dana didn't squeeze me.
Yeah.
She didn't squeeze me. Now, as someone that goes on TV almost daily, as Nancy Pelosi does, and as a very powerful woman, she needs to maintain that look. We all also agree that Gavin Newsom shutting down hair salons at this stage of the pandemic seems a little excessive. And we also agree that as the number 3 rated show on cable news, perks come along with that. And we all love our perks. We also know that each of us maybe has kind of gone astray when it comes to the regulation and maybe have let our mask slip down below our mouth on occasion. So we understand what Nancy did, and she's just like the rest of us, Greg. The only difference is she doesn't walk the walk.
Yeah.
Because she's a hypocrite.
Yeah. All right, well.
We got through that with no squeeze.
Jesse, hang on, Greg.
Yes?
Hey, Greg, I want to know what perks Jesse's getting. I'm not getting any perks. What's going on
Well,
here?
your life is a perk.